Hey guys, welcome back to the Hands-On channel. Really excited to bring you this video. I know lately a lot of my focus has been working on small machines. I got that three-wheeler not long ago and I made a couple of videos on that, and you might be wondering, how is this related to homesteading or things like that, living off grid? Well, part of my plan is I needed a machine that I could use to replace a small tractor with. I wanted something that was versatile, smaller than a tractor, that I could use for my purposes. A small, less than an acre size garden, that kind of stuff, moving rocks, moving dirt around, you name it, pulling vehicles. I've got that Monte Carlo project. One of the reasons that I haven't done anything else on that is because, partly because my shop needs to be cleaned out and addressed, and the other thing is getting the thing in and out of the shop. That's a pretty good hill there that you have to go up to get that car in, and I haven't had the equipment to do that. So I thought, well, I didn't really want that three-wheeler, except for it was such a great deal that I couldn't pass it up, and I was pretty sure I could get it running, which I did. And now more than likely I'm going to sell the little three-wheeler, because I found what I was really looking for to begin with. I found a four-wheeler. So I'm going to spin you around here and I'm going to show you this, but to preface it first, I got another great deal on this thing. I think if everything works out right, then I did. And frankly, even if I had to part it out, I think I got a pretty good deal on the thing, but I don't think that's going to happen. Basically what I got is spin you around here. Okay. What I picked up here is a 2001, I call them Bombardier. That's what I'm going to always call it, but it's actually a French-Canadian company, and they pronounce it Bombardier, but I refuse to say that because I'm an American, and that's my right. So this Bombardier, or Bomb for short from now on, it's a Traxter XT 2001 model. It's a 500cc four-wheel drive all the time. It has a high and low range, 5-speed and high, 5-speed and low. It's got reverse, neutral, and again, high and low. You access all of that through the shifter up in the front there, sort of like a gear selector on an automobile. We'll do a little walk around here. I just got it off the trailer and drug it around here to the backyard. Actually used the three-wheeler to pull it back here, so that worked out pretty nicely for me. Hopefully my focus will stay halfway decent here as I'm walking around. Apparently John Deere originally came out with this idea, and they only made it for, I guess, a year or so, maybe two, I don't know. But then it was bought out by Bombardier, and they put their label on it, but it's basically the same machine as far as I could tell. They may have done some other modifications, I don't know, but as you can see, it's got the bumper front and rear and the racks. They actually had a little plastic bed that would sit right here, and I think it pivoted on this because it was a dump bed, so it must have pivoted on this thing here, this gray rail in the back. That's what I expect. But this one didn't come with that. But I was already thinking about building a little, metal or aluminum box or something that I could put on the back, take on and off easily, and use it for hauling dirt around. Because this thing, I believe it was 600 pounds. It might have even been as high as 800 pounds that you can put on the racks on these things. Now, I'm not sure how you have to distribute it. I did not get a manual with it, so I'm going to try to download one or find a PDF online that I can look through. But yeah, it's dirty. The seat has no rips or tears in it. It's got the brush guards. Those are all factory, four-wheel drive. Of course, you got a brake down here on the floor. And it's, the obvious thing that's different from all other quads that you've seen is it has this pass-through. Well, that was kind of, maybe it's Achilles' heel. I think some people didn't like it because of the way it looks. It doesn't look like a traditional quad where the gas tank is right there. Instead, the engine is directly under you and a little bit more rearward. than it would be on a standard quad. And the gas tank is up front, so that's how they're dealing with weight distribution on the thing. But these things, I can't find much about them here in the United States, but up in Canada, Canuckistan, I think they call it, up there, they have quite a following of these. Of course, you know, that's where they're made, so you could, naturally, that's how it would be. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. Now, I didn't get to hear it run. It's the same sort of deal, and I'm pushing my luck, so who knows? Hopefully I'll get lucky, and it's only the carburetor. The guy seemed honest that I bought it from, but, you know, who knows? I won't know until I'm finished and I turn the key and get the thing going. But the story he gave me was that it was his father-in-law's machine. He bought it because he was older and he was having a hard time throwing leg over a traditional ATV. So this was a good solution for him for a couple of years. He only really had it for a couple of years. And then he bought a side-by-side. And this gentleman was quite a bit older, so I'm guessing he was in his 70s or maybe even 80s. But he still wanted to ride. So he bought the side-by-side for him and his wife to ride around on, and this just sat in the barn for about 2.5 years, according to the gentleman I bought it from, his son-in-law. And he tells me that whenever he got it, his father-in-law passed away last year, I guess it was, and he got it, and he could tell that it had bad gas in it from sitting there. So it sat there with, you know, gas in the tank, it went foul, had that smell about it that it gets, that tarnished smell that you get on bad gasoline. So he supposedly drained it out and changed some sort of a grommet, and I've heard other people talking about the fuel tank grommet, so that must be an issue with these things. But apparently there's some rubber grommet up here in the front where the fuel tank is that it can leak, and he drained all that out and supposedly fixed the grommet and put a jet ski battery in it because it didn't have a good battery. So he stuck a jet ski battery in there, and he said it tried to fire up, but he couldn't get it to run, and he didn't have time to mess with it supposedly. So he told me it had just over 300 hours. I was able to take my battery charger and just get the hour meter to come on, and it was about 340 hours on the thing. So far the guy's story is lining up. The machine looks the part. It looks like it was put up dirty, and it had quite a bit of dust all over everything, including the motor and the back fender, so I can tell it has been sitting for a long time. But in the next video or two, just depending on how involved I have to get on this machine, we will be attempting to get it to bring it back to life. You know, that's one of the things I love doing as a mechanic. I love getting someone else's project, especially this condition. You notice that the three-wheeler that I bought was the same sort of deal. And if you're into this sort of thing, you know, just be warned, it doesn't always work out, and it could go badly on this one for me, who knows. But I'm not real heavily invested in it, let's just say that. And so if I had to, I know I could recover my money by parting it out or selling it to someone else that maybe, you know, they wanted to go a little deeper in it if they needed to or something like that. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to share this with you. I'm really excited about it. I am not bothered by the pass-through at all, because I have had knee surgery in the past, and I know exactly what people are talking about on those cold days when your knee's aching and you don't want to throw it up over a machine. You can just kick it right through there. And another thing that I thought the guy that I bought it from, the son-in-law, he told me, he was like, yeah, when he had it running, he would set his daughter right here, you know, his young daughter, like 4 or 5 years old, whatever, right here on the hump, and she could put her feet right there on the floorboard, and he would be sitting around her, you know, so that she couldn't fall off the thing, and she could lean forward and kind of grab onto the bare spots on the handlebars here, you know, and she was comfortable and could ride around on the thing. Now, I'm sure they didn't, you know, do crazy stunts or anything. He was just putting her around the yard. But the point is that it's good for moving kids around. But how this ties into homesteading for me is that out there in the Rocky Mountains in the off-grid homestead, it snows there big time sometimes, you know, feet. And I'm gonna need a way to plow out of there, at least my own driveway. They generally take care of the road in front of the place there, but let's say they can't get to it or something, and I need to plow my way out of there or get to town some way, and I can't get a big Suburban to move, or you know, whatever. This could be my answer. This could be my ticket. And also, I'm looking into getting into doing some hunting. I've never really done any of that, and I'd like to do that before I die. That's one of my bucket list things. Is I want to, you know, I want to start out, you know, maybe get a antelope, you know, something like that, deer, a couple of deer, whatever, and then possibly work my way up to an elk. But this would be the kind of machine that could get it out of the forest. Oh, and it's got a factory worn winch on it. I thought that was pretty cool. The dude says it works. I have to go buy a battery still for it, but in the next video, I may just use the battery. I have a marine style car battery, a large battery, and I may just fashion up a way that I could try to jump start it off of that, just to see if I can get it to come to life a little bit before I even go invest any money on a battery. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. 500cc. I've watched some videos on these. Flat out, they'll run about 50, 55 miles an hour. And the most important thing is you can put a 3-point on the back here, or you can put a receiver style hitch, and you can hook up different ATV implements. And with a machine like this that's geared toward low end torque, you're going to be able to pull yourself through a lot of different things that, you know, other machines that are more geared toward performance would not be able to do. So I'm excited about that. I've even seen a little hydraulic pump setup that you can put on the back here. You set it on this back rack, and that controls your 3-point. So you have a hydraulic 3-point back here. So if you were dragging like a box blade or maybe a plow or something like that, you can move it up and down without getting off the machine. But that's pretty fancy. I'll probably just go with manual style, to where I set the depth, you know, and I saw a video where a guy made a DIY box blade here on YouTube for his ATV, and it was awesome. So I may try to do something like that. That way I'll be able to move a little dirt around, move gravel. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's got the 500 Rotax engine. Now let me pop that open. Let's take a look-see. And this is another thing that's really cool about this machine as far as access. They're supposed to be real easy to work on, because you pop this seat right here, pivots up and slides out. And actually I can just set it on the rack. Right there. And we can take a look. But as you can see, it's fairly dusty. I'm gonna have to get in there with some engine cleaner, and the battery goes right here. It's non-existent right now, so I'm looking around at different batteries, if I should just buy a lawnmower battery and make it work, or if I should go buy a actual proper fit battery for the thing, which is probably what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna have to look around for that, find a good source. It's a single cylinder, but it's got 2 spark plugs, so I'll probably go, well, I think it's a single. It might be a 2-cylinder. No, I don't think so. I think it's just a big thumper, but it's got 2 spark plugs. Yeah, because it's only got the single carburetor there, but that was one of the things I was looking for, was whether or not if it was carbureted or fuel injected. I would have probably stayed away from it if it was fuel injected, because more computers, more stuff that I don't want to have to mess with. So I like simple. Keep it simple, stupid. So yeah. Anyways, guys, if you've ever ridden one of these, let me know, because I never have. I had to buy it on the guy's word, so hopefully he was honest. Never can tell. But so far I dig it. And it's not going to show up on the film here, but this thing is massive. It's got major girth, and it's longer than most traditional ATVs. And I was just reading last night that state where the off-grid Homestead is, you can apply for a permit, and you can run these things on the street. So anyways, guys, really stoked about this. This is going to help me out and be a back saver and a labor saver for me Since I'm getting into welding and stuff now, I can make a lot of my own implements, do repairs on this machine, things like that if need be, or make it to where possibly even design my own 3-point system for it. So anyways, appreciate you tuning in and hanging with me through all the excitement here, but hopefully the next video will have this puppy torn apart more. We'll be able to find out what's wrong with it. My guess is fuel carburetor issue, but it also does have a fuel pump in it. So we're gonna have to do some different tests on it that we didn't have to do on the 3-wheeler. But until then, we'll see you next time.